You mentioned this latter approach of like rolling shutdowns. Now, I've been around for a long time looking at this stuff, and as have you. I haven't seen this strategy used before. What is a rolling shutdown?
So let me preface this by saying this is in concept form only. Okay. There's been no paper. There hasn't even been a term sheet released on what they're talking about here. But the general idea is lumping together, we have 12 annual appropriation bills that Congress has to pass every year. The idea of a laddered CR is to group some of them together and give them one expiration date. So let's go like with a defense theme. So maybe the Republicans in the House pair up the defense appropriations bill with the Homeland Security bill with the military construction VA appropriations bill, stitch that up into sort of a defense military themed appropriations bill. And they say, all right, we're going to extend those programs until, the end of January. But then we're going to take sort of domestic priorities like the Health and Human Services bill and the Interior bill and energy and water. We're going to stitch those up into in a separate piece of legislation, but we're only going to extend those through to say mid-December. Okay, so you have different expiration dates for different buckets of funding. Now, that might seem grand and groovy, and that it gives Congress, time to prioritize on and focus on certain appropriations bills. But in my opinion, I think that just makes a shutdown more palatable. It allows, your ultra, conservatives, your MAGA Republicans in the House to just object to everything, because then instead of shutting down the whole government, you're only shutting down a portion of the government at a time, which of course gives them leverage to get the policies that they want in these appropriations bills by basically holding that portion of government hostage. So you can see, for example, if you roll up the defense bill with Homeland Security, MilCon VA, Senator Tuberville in Senate is holding up a lot of military promotions over the defense policy on travel out of state, away from your duty station to receive abortion services. If the defense bill is wrapped up in this sort of laddered CR, when that expiration date comes, that gives the conservative Republicans in the House the opportunity, to sort of shut down, halt funding for the Defense Department until Democrats concede to their abortion language in the Defense Department, which would say, no, you can't use defense money, federal government tax dollars to travel outside of your duty station in order to get abortion services. So, I think that the laddered CR is sort of cute by half, if you will. And I think literally it's just a path to a more palatable way to shut down the government and have Republicans to coerce Democrats to get the policies that they want.
You have to assume the White House is going to recognize that. And so presumably President Biden would veto any one of these piecemeal approaches and say, look, it's all or nothing.